Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our January 13th meeting. I'm going to call the meeting to order and start off the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations, which includes Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Rama, Beausoleil, and Georgina Island First Nations. The Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen respectfully acknowledges that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and caretakers of the lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure health and integrity for generations to come. I'll now move into a moment of silent reflection for council and staff to quietly reflect on our duty to the community that we represent. Thank you. All right, then I'll ask everyone to make sure your cell phones are off or placed on vibrate so it doesn't disturb the meeting. And I'll remind council of the declaration of pecuniary interest if it arises, declare it then. Next, we have minutes here from the regular council meeting of December 16th. Look for a motion to receive them if all is in order. Moved by Councillor Clement, second by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor, and that's carried. All right, so we're going to move right into delegations, and our first delegation, our only delegation today is Nicole Cameron, project manager with Engage Engineering, and John Sales is here too, I see. So you could come up to the podium and that would. Welcome, John.
Morning. Okay, my name's John Sales with Engage Engineering, and I'll be presenting the OSIM structure inspections for 2025. So the Ontario Structure Inspection Manual, or OSIM, defines a structure as a bridge or culvert with a span of greater than 3 meters. In 1928, the County of Peterborough passed a bylaw that essentially downloaded any structure under 20 feet would be assumed by the townships. The township has 5 structures meeting this criteria. In accordance with provincial legislation, each structure is inspected every 2 years as per the OSIM guidelines. The 5 structures are Devil 4 Mile, Weller Road, 3rd Concession Road, Blairton, and Van Sickle. So each structure is comprised of specific elements, and prior to completing the field review, we would meet with township staff, identify any maintenance or rehab that's been done over the last couple of years since the previous report, and then we would go out to visually inspect the structure and catalog with photos any deficiencies or just a general condition of the structure. If deficiencies are identified, then the deficiency is measured in size. A bridge condition index, or BCI number, is calculated based on the severity of the deficiency and the percentage of the element that is deficient. And then we collect that data and put it into a database. And this database is used to support the report. Our report prioritizes the structures for capital improvements based on their BCI, and the maintenance requirements are also identified at the same time. And then we determine a 5-year capital expenditure plan through correspondence with township staff and the budget available to the township. So these are 2 structures. I chose these 2 being the highest BCI and the lowest BCI. So it's out of 100. And the Devil 4 Mile It's an older structure, but it does have a BCI of 79. Within the last 2 years, a lot of work was done to the bridge top, which affects the overall condition, bringing up the BCI. And then Van Sickle Road, it's 54 is the BCI, and it is a low number. However, it's still functioning as intended. It's an older culvert. Steel culvert is starting to show signs of deterioration. That's why it's so low. So our recommended 5-year capital expenditure plan, the structures were prioritized and ranked based on the structure condition and its importance within the network. The importance of traffic count and detour possibility is taken into consideration, and the value of the annual work has been constrained to reflect the township's annual budget. So if additional funds are available, typically you could bring any of these repairs forward. The biggest concern with the 5 structures is 3 of them require guide rail improvements or rehab. And 1 of them, being Devil 4 Mile, requires some abutment repairs. Structure number 5, the Van Sickle Road culvert, it will need to be replaced, but likely beyond our 5 to 10 year forecast that we typically do in these reports. But it's recommended that staff and council begin to look forward and set aside some budget for that capital expenditure. Right now, so on the right side there, the 2026 of 25,000 is guide rail. In 2027 is the abutment repairs to Devil 4 Mile. 28 is guide rail at Van Sickle, and 2029 would be guide rail on Blairton structure. And we just picked those based on traffic count and detour. Obviously, the Blairton Road one, it's at the very end of Blairton, is not going to affect too many properties, so it can be pushed out till 2029. That's why we've kind of prioritized it that way. That's pretty much it. Nice.
Yeah. All right then, I'll open up to council, Deputy Mayor Webb.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation, John. Just one question in terms of the BCI, the bridge condition. What's the threshold there in terms of repairs or replacement?
It's typically like 40. When you get down to 40, then it's obvious.
Okay. Yeah, but you referenced that our Van Sickle is at what, 53.8.
Yeah.
Said we might have another 5 years out of that. That was kind of
5 to 10 years.
That was surprising to me. So you can let it go.
No, it can go quick.
Okay, thank you. The other one, sorry, just for clarification, next to it, the next column, replacement cost. Is that total replacement cost, or is that your kind of suggestion in terms of repairs that could be done to bring it up to a higher standard?
No, that would be full replacement.
Full replacement. Okay.
Yeah. So if we pushed it in 10 years, I think with 650, I think was the number in there. In 10 years time, that could be 900.
Thank you very much.
For the Van Sickle, we'll have it on, it's gonna get repaired, or we're doing an overhaul of it here in the next, we don't know when, probably the next year or two. I just wonder, like, for the repairs or replacement there, I wonder how it'll balance out with the lifespan compared to, if you're doing the road and you're hoping to get 12 or 15 years out of it.
The replacing the culvert, you're going to have some disruption, 100 feet in either direction. So it would be a small replacement of newer surface, but
Okay.
That wouldn't be a huge cost
Okay.
associated with replacement of the culvert.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions for John with regards to this? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. To receive by Councillor Doherty, seconded by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor? Okay.
Good morning, Mayor, Council, and staff. My name is Nicole Cameron. I'm from Engage Engineering, and I worked on the speed limit study for the township this fall. The speed limit study was prepared for the township in accordance with the Transportation Association of Canada guidelines for establishing posted speed limits. Some of the summary elements of the report include HBM's road network includes a total of 160 kilometers of road. 148 of these kilometers are rural, and 90 kilometers of rural roads have unposted speeds of 8 kilometers an hour. So that was the focus of this report, was roads that have unposted speeds of 8 currently. 42 sections of road, that number comes from the road need study, contain 90 kilometers of the road length, divided into these 42 sections, which is 60% of the rural road network. And this study concludes that with a recommendation to post speed limits between 40 and 70 kilometers an hour on those 42 sections. So the statutory unposted speed limit for rural areas in the township of HBM is 80 kilometers an hour. The township has several roads with unposted speed limits that are narrow and unpaved with hidden driveways and complex curve geometry. Conducting a speed limit study helps determine appropriate speed limits that balance the need for efficient travel and maintenance programming with the safety of all road users. Engage staff completed a technical review of all township roads in September and October of 2025. The review included a detailed analysis of the existing road conditions and observations of key features that influence speed limits. The purpose of this report is to review the rural road network and identify appropriate posted speed limits on each of the highways with unposted speeds to ensure safe and efficient travel. So this is our approach. The following steps were performed in a sequential manner to develop the speed analysis. Engage staff conducted a windshield survey in September and October to identify road characteristics and risk factors for each road segment. A comprehensive data set was collected for each road segment. Our road network map was then developed in CAD to depict the existing speed limits by color. We used TAC automated assessments for each of the 42 road sections, and recommended posted speeds were calculated from that assessment. 9 of the recommended speed limits from TAC were reviewed, and further speed reductions were recommended. So of those 42 that were reviewed, they were recommended to be posted at 60 kilometers an hour. Based on our analysis, we then took 9 sections and further looked at them based on road characteristics and determined they should be further reduced. All 42 sections of rural road with unposted speed limits were assessed and have recommended posted speeds less than 80. Engage staff documented the roadway evaluation and risk evaluation criteria for each road segment during the windshield survey, and the number of intersections and driveways was completed through a desktop review after the initial field investigation. This is an example of what the spreadsheet looks like with existing and recommended posted speed limits and some of the road characteristics that were picked up during and after the field review. Each of the 42 sections with an existing unposted speed limit has been assessed. And when this data which are called the risks associated with the engineering factors, are put into Form A of the TAC automated assessment. The appropriate posted speed is calculated. So this is what that TAC automated speed limit guidelines form looks like. As you can see, you input the data in the yellow categories, and then you calculate your total risk score, and it gives you a recommended posted speed limit. Of the 42 road sections with recommended posted speed limits, 33 aligned with the TAC automated guidelines. 9 were further assessed based on characteristics, risk factors, posted speed on adjacent roads, and ride comfort. This step resulted in further speed limit reductions based on the reasons noted below. Devil's 4 Mile Road is a long, narrow, single-lane substandard roadway. There's 1 residence near the west end, and the purpose of maintaining the remainder of this road is unclear. Recommended posted speed limit of 20 kilometers per hour. Holdcroft Road and Stody Point Road branch off West Kosh Road beyond the 2.3 kilometer marker, where there is a 50 kilometer speed limit posted already. Holdcroft Road and Stony Point Road both have risk factors such as rock outcrops, narrow lanes, and trees close to the roadway. Therefore, the recommended posted speed limit on those sections is 40 kilometers an hour. North Belmont 7th line is a short section that connects Round Lake Road to 2 fire routes. Round Lake Road has a posted speed of 60 kilometers an hour. We recommend posting the speed limit to 40. Sugar Bush Lane is a short, narrow road section, and we recommend the posted speed to be 40 kilometers an hour. Angamong Road is a narrow substandard roadway, recommended at 40. 5th Concession Road is a short, narrow roadway that services 1 agricultural property, recommended to be reduced to 40. Blairton Road is a short, narrow roadway that services 2 residents, recommended posted speed limit of 40. And Bowen Road is a long, narrow, and winding road that services multiple properties, and we recommend posting this as 40 kilometers an hour. So I went into more detail because these ones are being, further reduced to 40, but the other sections that weren't mentioned here would have been recommended to be 60 or 70 kilometers per hour. This is the 2 maps that we developed as part of this study. When they are larger, I guess you can kind of see the color coding here, but throughout the north, you can see the blue are the 80 kilometer an hour roadways, and it extensively been reviewed and reduced throughout. So would have quite an impact, positive impact, I hope. So now that this study is completed, some of the next steps would be finalizing cost and location for the required signage. So I do have a little bit of information regarding the cost for this, and the signage locations will be determined through the next study we plan to do, which is the sign study. But what the costs look like at this point is we're thinking that the 11 gateway locations would have gateway signs that would say unposted roads are 60. And then because the majority of the roads are going to be 60, so it makes the most sense for that to be the unposted. The remainder of the signs that would be posted at 40 or 70 would probably be around $4,000 for the signs and hardware. And for the gateway signs, the 11 gateway signs, we're looking at about $12,000. So about $16,000 for the actual signs and hardware. And then the installation would be covered under the operating budget, I presume. Further, we would be looking to implement a bylaw with a start date and a sign installation plan. And then integrate the updated information into the road needs study. Thank you.
All right then, so yeah, this has been a while since we've looked at this and kind of overdue. The 80 km/h unposted in a lot of areas is pretty unsafe, but I've seen it in other areas where they've done this. I think Trent Hills, they actually went to 50 for their areas, but so 60, it'll be still pretty quick, but it probably should be, well, it sounds like it has to be done. So anyways, it's open up to council and any questions. Deputy Mayor Webb.
Just, Mayor, thank you very much for the presentation, Nicole. Moving forward, is it up to council to pick and choose, or are we voting on this as a slate, all as one?
Yeah, I would think that would be that's where the.
Okay,
where
I just had a couple
experts-
one question quickly would be, Old Norwood Road being dropped from 80 to 70. There's a lot of people that use that as a commuting trail, and it's, to me, just the standard is no different than what County Road 30 is, right? So I don't understand if it's 80 on 30, why we'd be dropping it to 70 on that road. I understand maybe as we get closer to 30 there, where we've got a few houses, as they've done in Norwood, I think they dropped theirs to 60 for maybe the last half kilometer. But extending that out, whatever, 4 or 5 kilometers at 70, I'm not sure.
So I can have a closer look at what planning is for the reduction. And then, I'm happy to discuss how we make changes.
All the rest of them, and I haven't gone through obviously every single one, but yeah, a lot of it I completely agree with. We've got old roads here, Tongamong Road and things like that are set at 80. That you couldn't drive a car, probably even 40, what we've got set there down at, right? Because of the condition of the road, excuse me. I'm just concerned about that because as I said, that road's it's really well built. It's kind of a new road. It's, if anything, probably almost in better shape than the county road that it runs off it. So I don't know if that figures into the calculations in terms of that, right? But to me,
The condition is part of it.
or whether it's just because it's a municipal road and not a county or regional.
The houses must come into it too, with so we've got it,
Yeah, they
isn't it
go into
posted
the
now?
records.
Like, did we not post Old Norwood Road? Is it Old Norwood Road you're talking about, or?
I just went across it last night.
Yeah, is it not posted at 70?
On the west,
The west side or the east side?
No, once you get, I thought it was 80, maybe I'm speeding. But I know once you get to Norwood, kind of, as I said, maybe that last kilometer, half kilometer to Norwood, it drops to 60. Because there's signage there that alerts you that it's dropping to 60. So I believe it's at least 70, if not 80.
Okay.
That middle part.
So.
Sorry.
So just to go along with that, I had a link that you come off concession is concession street or whatever you want to call it, it's 50. If you turn on Old Norwood Road and it's automatically back up to 60. And then from there, I'm not sure what it is, but I've had a request that we put the whole thing to 50 all the way along Old Norwood Road. Because they said it's crazy with the amount of people there now and the long-term care. So I've been asking this lady to give me a request to put down to 50. Because it's like that long-term care right there. Like I said, you come off at 50, then you're up to 60 for the long-term care. And then you go down, they've got more housing. So this lady asked me about putting it all right to 50, all the way across Old Norwood Road. So.
Okay, well, yeah, Councillor Doherty, go ahead.
Mayor Martin, couple of questions, not even related to the other one, sorry. Well, do we take traffic counts into consideration?
Not for the TAC on automated assessments, but they are in the road needs study.
Yeah, I understand that. So there's no traffic count on the,
I don't believe so. The
So-
major,
so it's condition then of the road and residents that are the biggest factors.
yeah, and the major one that would reflect the AADT would be the road classification. So if it's a local or collector
If a road classification is done by the roads need study, which affects this.
It would loosely be based
And you're
on road classification and age.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. All right, anyway, thank you. I just was concerned that maybe the speed. What does technical review mean?
Technical review, that's when, for example, we were doing assessments in the field. So we were driving the roads, making notes and collecting information on the road.
So is it different than a windshield one?
No, not necessarily. I guess windshield review would be, we're driving and assessing information from the vehicle. Technical would be more like we're getting out and measuring lane widths and counting specific numbers of entrances.
And now, if I may follow up, is this something that's going like a government initiative is to review all the things, or just is this something that we do every 2 or 3 years?
Through you, Mayor. Not necessarily. We were asked to do this by the township. So I don't think it's regulated by the provincial government in any way, but it does have really positive impacts throughout the township in terms of maintenance programming specifically. So, for example, 80-kilometer unposted statutory 80-kilometer per hour roads would have a maintenance standard that is potentially higher than is required and take a lot of resources that may not be necessary with low volume roads.
Give you an example of 80, if there's 2 cars going down, it wouldn't be a maintenance problem, but if it's another road with a lot more traffic, it'd be different. Anyway, no, thank you, I appreciate that. And the risk factor that total risk, what's that out of 100, or it goes from 0, the risk goes up, it's higher numbers worse, or is it 100 and come down?
So through you, Mayor, this TAC automated assessment is quite a detailed spreadsheet and it's based on weighted factors. So to go along with this Form A, there is a Form B and a Form C that I'd be happy to forward you. And it goes through all of the factors based on each of these inputs. So depending on what you input, it's out of different things. I don't think it's out of 100. I don't think it's like a percentage out of 100. But I could forward those to you if you want to have a closer look.
No, well, 19 doesn't mean anything unless you know what it's relating to. So that's why I was just trying to find out whether, obviously it's not good. Or is it?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, no, thank you.
Yeah, so is this part of the road need study then, Peter, as far as this is just another piece of it as far as helping us in the future?
Yes, through you, Mayor. Yeah, they all are all kind of intertwined together with the speed study, design study, and the roads need study. So they all have a little bit of a part of each other. So discussing with Engage Engineering that we thought this would be the first one to present to council, and then moving forward, hit the sign study, and then the roads need study.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, if you could just ignore my previous comments, because I finally figured out which road this is that I'm talking about, so. And I'd like to amend them in that all I was gonna say was, the roads identified here that we're moving to 70. I would say, to me, yeah, like, just to keep it easy, if we would just move those 5 into the 60, I don't think that would be that big of a deal. I don't know, that's the rest of council to decide, but I think, as I said, just, they're all kind of, let's say off-road, but I mean, you know what I mean?
So it would be,
They're not super large roads and they're not big shoulders. So to me, 60, especially when you get into winter conditions and things like that, I think.
so usually these signs that I've seen in other areas, it says unless otherwise posted, right? So it has the speed limit of, if it's unposted, it's 60, but there could be some that might be posted 70. So it's just a general sign to keep it simple, right?
Correct.
Okay.
If we do all these changes to these roads, you're gonna need an app on your phone when you're driving around HVM because you're gonna go from 80 to 70 to 60 to 40. And I agree, maybe we should have a closer look and see whether we can tie some of them together. I appreciate what you're saying, is risk factors and all the other stuff, but it's a lot of changes on a lot of different roads.
So that's why the suggestion was the 11 signs would have, like the gateway signs would have that it's say 60 kilometers an hour unless otherwise posted, or like not 80. That's the big thing. We're trying to get away from these 80 that are unsafe, but with the condition of the road. So yeah, there won't be a lot of signs posted other than at all your entrances. And then that's what I was worried about when I talked to Peter yesterday. Are we gonna have to post all these individually? And no, we post that they'll all be from 80 down to say 60. And then if there is any that are 70 or whatever, that's the ones that we have to buy separately as far as and they may be on there already, right, Peter? So, okay.
Thank you.
See, I'm confused because we spent $20,000 on signs and we're not putting up that many. I'm sorry, I'm missing something.
Through you, Mayor, once we confirm, once we finalize what the
Yeah.
posted speeds will be, we'll be able to revise the cost for how many signs are required.
I guess I was looking at the number of signs opposed to the cost at the moment. We'll get to the cost, but we were doing a lot of signs, right?
The number of signs will be confirmed through the sign study, which will be.
But you had some numbers on some signs there, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you want to hear those again?
No,
You said 11 gateway signs and then
There's 6 gateway signs for 12,000, right? And then the other signs were 4,000, but if we're gonna eliminate some of them, that would be less than 4. So the total was 16,000, I believe, right?
Correct.
okay. So did you have a question, Bob? No. No? All right, then, is there any other questions for Nicole? What do you need for today? Just a motion to receive? All right, to receive, moved by Councillor Clement, second by Councillor Doherty. All in favor? There. Right then, so with that, I think delegations will move into planning. So have a couple of planning reports. The first one here is Lisa. Is gonna withhold an addendum to proposed law edition P 9225. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you very much. And through you, Mayor, can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up or a nod?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm at a different desk today. I'm in our boardroom, so I apologize if anything's a little bit echoey. But yes, thank you. And again, through you, good morning. And I will note that similar to last council meeting on December 16th, the two files I'm discussing today are very related and similar, but I will discuss each of them individually just to make it a little bit clearer for council today. So just noting that they're related to the same sort of area. The first report to discuss today is for the previously discussed lot addition application identified as B-92-25 for the purposes of lot addition and land conveyance. And through you, Mr. Mayor, you may recall that on that December 16th council agenda, B-92-25 proposed for a quarter hectare of lands owned by Annette Vance to be conveyed to lands municipally known as 170 Fire Route 57, and those are owned by Sean Hogue. And previously, the staff report and our subsequent presentation to council did contain inaccurate information regarding to the zone of the lands to be conveyed. So we did state that those lands were zoned seasonal residential, while in fact they are zoned rural. So following this realization, staff are bringing forward a recommendation to just add one more condition to the endorsed application for consent to the Peterborough County Land Division Committee. And this condition is to rezone the lands to be conveyed to reflect the most appropriate zone for the lands, aligning with the zone of the benefiting lands and ensuring that the lot is in split zone going forward, preventing anything complicated for future development should there ever be any that is proposed. So you may recall too that one of the associated consent applications, B-91-25, which was also endorsed conditionally, was one of those conditions was for the rezoning of some of those lands once they're to be added. So this recommendation is really in keeping with the other approved recommendations, and it's just to seek to address this staff error. So this report for B-92-25 recommends that council endorses the application for consent to the County and Land Division Committee with the original as well as this additional revised condition as proposed.
You. Okay, council with the recommendations before you. What's the recommendation?
I'm gonna move it to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah. Have to
I don't know my
comment,
name.
moving it. Yes. The recommendation, do you have a seconder? Second by Councilor Doherty. All in favor of the motion? And that's carried. All right. Moving on to the next 93-25, Lisa, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, this second application is B-93-25 for the same purpose of lot addition and land conveyance. This application is for the proposed lot addition from those same lands on Fire Route 57, owned by Annette Vance, to the lands known as 166 Fire Route 57. And this application proposes that 0.08 hectares be added to 166 Fire Route 57. Similarly, unfortunately, due to this error, we had initially stated that the zoning of the lands to be conveyed were zoned rural, or sorry, they were zoned seasonal residential. They are in fact zoned rural. So similarly, we are recommending that another condition be added to see that to actually support this lot addition, that the rural zoned piece would have to be zoned seasonal residential as well to, again, align with the existing zone of the benefiting lands and ensure that should there be any development in the future, that everything is appropriately aligned and in one zone. So it really is the same recommendation as the previous report, but I just wanted to clarify they are for two separate applications. Thank you.
Okay. All right then, so it's council's thoughts there. The recommendation here is for you. Kathy,
I'll recommend we move it.
you're moving it. Do I have a seconder? Jerry? Okay, any questions? All in favor? And that's carried. All right. Next we have, that's it, Alicia. I think,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, Sonia, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
I always think I'm in trouble when you're coming up to the.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
morning, Mayor and Council. This report is to present for the consideration and direction of Council a request received from the Ministry of Natural Resources in relation to a request received by them for the purchase of a portion of Crown land to a neighboring property. The recommendation is that Council direct staff to advise the MNRF and the abutting property owner at 46 Fire Route 82A that the township has no concerns with or objections to the proposed acquisition of the abutting portion of Crown land presently under the ownership of MNRF. The background on this is that municipality received the request for the proposed acquisition of that piece of Crown land to the owner of 46 Fire Route 82A. The Crown land in question is currently under a land use permit with the MNRF for the septic field and tank, and has been since the 1980s. And it's approximately 40 meters upland from Kosh Lake. An image for reference is attached, and the private property is outlined in red, and land containing the septic, which is the subject of the sale application, is in green. MNRF requests to be advised of any comments or concerns which council may have. There is no financial impact at this time, and that would be the end of my report.
okay. All right then, so. Council thoughts. cleaning up some stuff here, so moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second. Councillor Doherty seconding it. Any other questions? All in favor? And that's good. Thank you, Simon. All right, that will move into staff report for information. We have 5 reports here. Starting out with Parks and Recreation update. Questions for that?
Sorry, yeah. No, just through your mayor, just a comment. I just noticed in there, it says $2,400 with raised in the sponsorship funds for the public skating at the rink over the holidays. So I just wanted to give a big thank you to the community and all those individuals looking around that did donate towards this. Thank you very much. And council and the community really appreciate it. It shows very nice input from our community. So just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Very Mayor, to Josh, it says here the stone wall windows were going to be rescheduled for December. Did they do it December?
Well, morning, everybody. Through your Mayor Martin, the crew started yesterday.
Okay. It's just a different December, I guess.
Through your Mayor Martin, I'm not exactly sure what happened over the holidays, but
No, thanks. It's moving anyway.
that's right. They started yesterday.
But thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Councillor Clement.
Right, follow the take, Josh.
Through your Mayor Martin, I'm hoping this week they have 4 solid days.
Perfect.
They made a lot of progress yesterday.
Thank you.
I don't want to speak for them, but it won't take very long once they get going.
Nice. Thank you.
But I could say to Josh, it's nice to see these pictures. I'd like to see them shared online as far as to show we do have a lot of work going on, and it actually kind of give me a little reminder of, I think every building has construction going on somewhere or another, so it would be nice to display that on our social media that we're moving forward and lots of good things happening, so. All right then, so. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. The next item on here is Public Works update. The 2 fire incident summaries, one for September and one for October. And then there's the building.
Move on public works.
What's that? I'm gonna move them all together here once we get through these. These are for information only. There's no motions for them. They're just just gonna move them all together once we go through them. If there's any questions for any of these individually, at the end, I'll just get a motion. Keep them all.
Through your Mayor Martin, if we're moving on to the fire summary.
Okay.
This is a new word for me, the Nevada Fund.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about that, so maybe somebody can enlighten us. And then on the one, I guess, for October, it's got that was purchasing a slide or something.
Yeah, with the Nevada Fund, that's where you've seen the Nevada probably.
Yeah, and it's page 152. It says the new skid unit was installed side by side. I'm a little confused. Are we getting 2 or 1?
So is the fire chief on there? Ray, if you could answer this and explain the Nevada Fund. I didn't think anybody really knew that we had that. We haven't used it in a lot of years, so.
Yeah, through you, Mayor Martin, the Nevada Fund, it was the break open tickets at the Mac store. Well, I'm sorry, the Circle K now. But as of now, we don't have it there anymore. But we've had that fund for years and years, and it's to buy equipment, training, props, and stuff like that. Like in the one report there, it bought all the new tables and stuff, and did all the refurbishing of the training room. And as far as the skid unit, through you, Mayor Martin, if we could have that discussion in budget meetings, please.
Okay. So the skid unit, the other skid unit or this skid?
I'll explain both in budget meetings, if that's okay, through you, Mayor Martin.
All right then. Okay. All right then, so these are for information, and as far as any of the things in there, some of them must have budget implications, so when we get to the budget, that'll be explained there, so. Okay, Councillor Doherty.
Sorry.
We'll talk about it in budget. So the next item on here is the building department activity report. Any questions on that? All right, then, so what I would look for is a motion to receive all the staff reports for information. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, seconded by Councillor Clement. All in favor, and that's carried. Okay. Moving into staff reports with follow-up action. And this is Travis, you can take over.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, members of council. So the report is just a follow-up to the changes with respect to the Peterborough Humane Society and our animal control enforcement and impound and care services. As a result of the changes, we had to amend the animal control bylaw to add the new agreement and just a few minor changes to take out Peterborough Humane Society as enforcement.
Okay. All right, and so there is a piece in the bylaws later, so when this here, you can see this. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councillor Clement. Any questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Okay. And we're moving to the amending the AMP bylaw.
And the last part of that is to amend the AMP bylaw with the changes in the control, change the number in the AMP bylaw.
Okay, so move the recommendation. Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councillor Clement. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, we're moving into the speed limit study.
Yes, good morning there, Martin, members of council. As this was a follow-up report as to the delegation that was presented earlier, so at this point, I think it was received as information, and there might be a few changes in, well, when those changes are made and approved, then we will need a bylaw too.
Yeah. Okay. So Deputy Mayor Webb, go ahead.
I think I made the comments with the delegations here, but yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve it. But changing I think there's 5 at the bottom, so the bottom 5 from 70 to 60.
Okay.
Which would only leave the top whatever, I think there's 8 40, so we'd only be basically putting out 8 signed at 40 and 60 for the whole township should cover everybody else in terms of these roads. So
okay. Peter?
Yeah, so through you, Mayor Martin, so we would have to bring that back at a further meeting with the changes in a bylaw to approve, if that's correct, Bob?
Yeah, we'll have to bring a bylaw, we'll put it in the bylaw.
And make those changes to the
So we can approve that motion today.
okay, well, I'll leave it there.
Okay, so we have a mover.
We have a move.
Second by Councillor Doherty.
Yeah, if I can just get the
Yeah,
motion read back to me, so I, please. Or some simulation.
Well, I'll go back to the delegation. I don't have the list in front of me.
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
So to adopt what adopt the recommendations in the plan we've been given. Save the changes, as I said, the bottom 5. So if everything that's at 70 that's been set to 70 would be set to 60.
Right, okay.
I believe that's what they said of the bottom 5 on that chart. So there's only 5 changes.
Okay. Okay, so that's moved and seconded. Any other questions?
So there's no cost related to this, then am I understanding the motion right? Then this is just to approve the signs, then we do the second step because there has to be some money allocated for the new sign.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, he said he'd have to bring it back, didn't you? So, okay.
The cost would be in the next part of it.
Okay, we're not passing it right now. He's gonna have to come back.
The sign study will address the cost of installing and purchasing signs.
But for today, it's just to, direction. Yeah. So we have a mover and a seconder.
We do.
Any other questions? All in favor? And that's carried. And here. Okay. Next item on here is committee of adjustment, appointing council as committee of adjustment. So I thought. Yeah.
Through you, Mayor Martin, this is an annual requirement, that's for the Planning Act, that when members of council act as committee of adjustment, they must be appointed annually. So this report makes that recommendation, and then there's a bylaw later in the year. You're not presenting right now, it's all good.
Motion to move the recommendation. Moved by Councilor Authority, second by Councilor Flagler, all in favor, and that's carried. All right, that's the end of the staff reports with follow-up action. With that, we'll move into correspondence with one action item there. With regards to for computers, there it is. Yeah, so there's a mover here from United Counties with Leeds and Grenville, but I think they're looking for support for this motion. Bob?
Yeah, through you, Mayor Martin, this motion speaks to what is the name, the Municipal Accountability Act. The provincial government is suggesting that codes of conduct be standardized for all municipalities through Ontario. And that the process for dealing with integrity commissioners be standardized as well. This item will be discussed at the Roma conference coming up next week. And this piece of correspondence has come to us from the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville for our support.
What council thoughts there? Support or just receive?
To receive.
Okay. I've moved to receive it. Is there a seconder for that? Second by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, so next on here is correspondence information items. And there's three things on there. One was the invoice for the water for the outdoor rink. It was a little different than what we agreed to, but it's on here. And we had said we would pay for that. Then there's the consolidation of conservation authorities. There was a little thing there from Scugog Township. Most are still not happy with how big it is. And the third first segment of the high-speed rail, just an announcement there. So just a motion to receive the balance of the correspondence with the for today. Very good.
I just want to say that Scugog, they weren't looking for support.
I would think that's what they didn't ask for it, so that's why it's probably in just for information, but we can.
Through you, Mayor Martin, the township has submitted our comments to the public input session to the provincial government, so we've already done that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right then. Or Kathy?
Through you, Mayor Martin, so the outdoor rink, we've already agreed to pay that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Just to make it official.
Yep.
Right then. Okay, so balance of the correspondence to receive it, moved by Councillor Clement, second by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor? That's carried. Right then, so we're gonna move into liaison report. And the county, I don't know if you have anything for county.
No, our county meeting is scheduled for tomorrow.
Yeah, and so the only thing I do have for county is that the warden was appointed for another term of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus. So so that's quite an accomplishment.
Good for people.
She's doing a good job.
Sorry, through you, Mayor Martin, is that a 2-year term?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes.
So she's gonna finish it.
That's
Was
our
it 2 years?
second term.
Perfect, good.
So, okay, so we'll move into the activity report. And there's two on here from Councilor Flagler with regards to Eastern Ontario Trails Alliance. Minutes from the meeting October 9th and November 13th. If there's any questions? If not, we'll just take a motion that we receive the liaison reports. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councilor Doherty. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, I don't have any written notice of motion before me. Is there any oral notice of motion? Seeing none. Other business, I don't have any other business. So we can move into bylaws. And the bylaws we have here are bylaw 2026-03 for the keeping of animals. And the AMP bylaw 2026-004. So there's two bylaws there. Oh, and the committee of adjustment. We just do a motion to receive them all together. Or to adopt these bylaws. Moved by Councilor Doherty. Okay. And second by Councilor Flagler. All in favor? And that's good. All right then, so with that, we have a closed session at 11 o'clock. So we can go now. We can go into close now, if that works. And let's take a 15-minute break. And I say 10, but it's gonna be 15 anyway, so 15 minutes. There's only one washroom.
Don't look at me when you say.
No.
Motion to suspend.
Motion to recess for and come back at 11:45. So moved by Deputy Mayor and second by Councilor Doherty. All in favor? And that's carried.
We're gonna find out.
All right. So, okay, we'll just let these folks know. We'll be on at 11.
Okay, yeah, we'll be on at 11 for the closed session. So we're back in open. All right, then, so I'm gonna need a motion to go into closed session held under section 239(2)C, 239(2)E, and 239(2)I.
Yeah, motion to resume.
Oh, motion to resume. Well, motion to resume and open. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councilor Doherty, all in favor, and that's carried. Now a motion to go into closed session held under those numbers that I said there. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councilor Doherty, all in favor, and that's okay. So motion. So we're back in open, and I need a motion to read it.
No.
Okay, so I moved it. Fine. Maybe I lost it. So we're looking for a motion to
Accept the recommendation of the municipal solicitor regarding legal matters.
moved by Kathy. Seconder for that, Art, all in favor? That's carried. Okay then, so confirming bylaw for today's meeting. Kathy and Bev. All in favor, carried, motion to adjourn, Art and Jerry.